Serbia-Kosovo dialogue has been lasting for in the scope of under the auspices of the European Union for last 8 years. But what we see in reality, whether this dialogue has brought normalization, what is the ultimate aim of this dialogue, I think that there are moves in both directions. On one side, politically, we have one step forward and two steps backwards. But when it comes to the real normalization of the life of citizens, we do see that there are certain steps that have moved ahead, such as the communication between Belgrade and Prishtina when it comes to transportation. We have direct lines now that go between two cities. We have collaboration between the artists and so on and so forth. But in order to reach the political agreement, which could be then the basis for all other sorts of collaboration, we do need a fresh start. And that fresh start can only be ensured if we do put reconciliation, inclusiveness of all involved groups, the groups that should be involved in the dialogue, that will be affected by the results of the dialogue, and the definition was the ultimate aim of normalization of the dialogue. Only if we posit the dialogue between Belgrade and Prishtina on these three pillars, on these three structural demands, then we can have a different outcome. Because if we just continue the dialogue under these conditions, what will be the different results? We can then again, now it's the tariffs, but in 5 years it will be something else that will again bring the dialogue to the deadlock, and then we are still in the situation, what do we do now? I think that Europe has done a well job when it comes to the honest breaker. The Kosovo-Serbia dialogue is highly politically sensitive one, and Europe, given its internal ambiguity when it comes to Kosovo recognition on one side, on the other side the process of European integration, I think the EU itself cannot do more when it comes to its policy towards Serbia-Kosovo dialogue. But what certainly can be done differently is stop pushing Serbia and Kosovo to urgently conclude the dialogue, but whether the ultimate agreement, the comprehensive agreement, should be the coronation of the process rather than an interim step, as it is the EU's requirement at the minute. On one side, we see massive exclusion of the youth when it comes to the dialogue between Belgrade and Prishtina. We don't actually know what the youth from both Kosovo and Serbia want when it comes to the dialogue. But on the other side, we do see positive moves, such as the establishment of Regional Youth Cooperation Office, RICO. And RICO is the one that has foreseen that besides the NGOs, there is an institutional cooperation between the Western Balkans 6 that will conduct indeed youth exchanges. And I think that's a step in the right direction. If you bring 15 young people from Serbia to Kosovo another way around, then you already made 30 young people who know each other from both sides, who will tell them their friends that they went to Prishtina or to Belgrade and any other city in Serbia or Kosovo. And that's how you achieve normalization between the young generation. I think that the need for youth is actually that their voice is heard when it comes to the Belgrade-Prishtina dialogue, that they become part of the policy-making process, so that they can actually influence of what they advocate for. And thirdly, and most importantly, if you ask me, is that there are similar initiatives institutionally supported, such as RICO, to enhance and support the exchanges between the young people of Serbia and Kosovo. I do believe that the change can only come from within. There is not a magical word, there is not a solution that will only come from the European Union. We just have to swallow and implement it. I think that the change has indeed come from within, and then the so-called Balkan Spring, the protests that are spread out in Albania, in Montenegro and in Serbia, in Bosnia as well, for months now, are the result of this change that can come from within. Looking back at the North Macedonia now, what has happened 3-4 years ago, and where is the result at this point, we only have hope that both the involvement of the youth and the protests themselves can bring a change, and we are looking forward to it.